Um, how I have to fart, kind of. And I don't know if I should just hold it in or might be more than a fart. Welcome to the Brothers Game Podcast. I wish this was improv. It's not. Brian, how are you? We're recording it 2 in a row, and that was a mistake.
I haven't hit record yet.
Oh, dang it.
No, I'm just kidding. I totally have.
Dang it. I
Gotcha.
I was so funny. Just kidding. That was my mouth.
Just all about the fart jokes with you.
I just set the timer.
Well, if you didn't set the timer, then we haven't really started yet, right?
Yeah, obviously. I started it. We've been recording for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
Hey, remember that time when we bought a house together?
Yeah, I do. I do, actually. That's weird.
Yeah. So you're moving into a house. That's weird. How's that going?
You're not moving into my house.
No, I'm
Despite
not.
you being on the...
Yeah, despite my name being on the mortgage.
I have a wife.
Uh-huh.
She's great.
Yeah.
And we said, hey, what if we had a place that was bigger than our apartment that we could live in?
So that you can put more video
like,
games
that's
in there,
a good idea.
right?
I'm like, that's a good idea. We should do that.
Yeah.
And so we did that. We threw money at someone and just screamed at them, like, give us a bigger place. And it happened.
All right.
And it happened. We found literally the perfect house for us. Super awesome. We've been looking at houses, and the original one we wanted, we're actually getting it. That's super cool.
Yeah.
For like 10 grand under the list price. I'm like, heck to the yes. You know? So it turns out my wife doesn't have any credit.
Yeah.
Not her fault. Paid off all her loans, just didn't have a line of credit for long enough. It's really exciting
Yeah,
to talk about credit. Anyway.
Yeah, credits and mortgages and investing and
then
all that adult stuff.
My realtor and mortgage officer were like, hey, guess what? You also have a brother who's not buying a house, who has really good credit. Put him on there. And I was like, I would never have considered that.
Yeah.
And you were like, all right.
All right.
So we're buying a house together.
Yeah.
But my wife's going to live in it.
Yeah.
And you're not.
Right.
So that's okay. In 6 months, you can get off of it. So.
Yeah. I'm continuing to live in the house that we're currently recording.
But it's very, very strange where, although we're thinking about moving to my house.
Yeah. Once you've actually got that
house,
set up. Yeah.
which will be cool. It's very strange when you can't move something like that forward and it's not because of money.
Right.
Like we have all the money necessary for down payments and everything, but like
the only thing you could have done better is
forward.
just have enough to just buy it outright in cash.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Which is insane. But,
Yeah.
Or, had done the stuff we tried to do, over a month ago.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
But who knew? So anyway, it's moving very well now. And I was just talking to Brian outside of recording about how we're packing, obviously, because closing date's about the end of the month.
Yeah.
So I packed up most of my video games.
Yep.
Basically my whole entertainment system. Everything but my Switch, basically. Because
Because
I
you
play
got to
that
be able to play that
nearly daily
while you're packing.
Yeah. But everything else I put away. So like let's go through, shall we? I packed my custom Game Boy Color.
Oh, yeah.
My Game Boy Advance SP, all those mobile games, my 3DS, new 3DS, my PS Vita.
Oh, right. You still have that?
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
my Vita's great. It's so good for old RPGs and stuff. Persona 4, all that good stuff. A lot of Miku Hatsune rhythm games. A lot of good stuff.
Because you're trash.
I got my NES and Super Nintendo Classic Editions, my PS2, my N64, my GameCube, my Xbox 360, my PS4.
I'm still shocked that you got such a good deal on that 360. It was so dirt cheap.
Yeah, so Goodwill, literally. I saw it. It's the Elite, not the Elite, right? It was the Elite.
I think
That's not.
it was newer than the Elite.
there's the black one, like the original white and black one, and then later there was like a slimmer, sleek one.
It was like the C or
It's
something.
that one.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was called. Anyway, I got that one, and it had power and video cables with it.
Wow.
The only thing it didn't have was the top hard drive bit.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, you know what, it's worth a shot. What if it works? That would be awesome. I didn't have a 360 because we just used yours all the time.
Right.
And so I brought it home. I ordered a generic Xbox 360 hard drive off of Amazon, not even an official Microsoft one.
It's funny. You probably could have taken the one from my original Xbox 360.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know if it would have fit though. I think
maybe.
they used different ones. But anyway, I plugged it in, put in the hard drive, worked perfectly, and has worked perfectly ever since. So it was like $30 altogether, I think. So
That's awesome.
that was awesome.
I'm actually on my second Xbox 360. I had an original
the
white
first
one.
Classic red ring.
I got it when Halo 3 launched, just to play Halo 3. It was a birthday present, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Or yeah, because I feel like I got it around August, but that doesn't make sense because my birthday's in April.
I don't know.
But maybe that's when I got Halo 3.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
remember. Anyway, and it had
Halo 3 came out in August.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So and then there were a couple of different types of red ring you could get, and there was like one red one in the corner, and then there were like the three.
You got the three one, I think.
No, so I got the red one in the corner, and then I had read a fix for the red ring, but it was for the 3 rings. And when I had implemented it, it gave me the 3 rings. So
messed up.
Yeah. It turned out I probably could have sent it to Microsoft and gotten it fixed for either free or very cheap.
Although, wasn't that one just like you needed a new power cord or something? And that would have fixed it?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway,
it's been a long time. But that's
days.
okay. I got an Elite and haven't had an issue with it.
It's been great ever since. Yep. But anyway, yes. So yeah, all my games are packed up, and it's very weird to just have an empty entertainment center. Because I really displayed all my consoles,
Yeah.
just because they're cool. But I don't play them constantly. And there's so much on the Switch that I'm happy for now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I really like the idea of consolidating games. My dream would be to get a Raspberry Pi in a case that would make it essentially a Switch Lite.
Yeah.
Of sorts, but as an emulation station
like
with a bunch of ROMs and stuff.
Like a nice screen,
And then have that with all of the old and it would just be for NES, Super NES, and Game Boy games. It wouldn't be for anything newer than that.
Older stuff, yeah.
Just stuff that I can do with just a D-pad and then an A and B button. A, B, start, select, and D-pad.
Just classic stuff. Yeah.
Or X, Y too, but whatever.
Yeah, for SNES, yeah. But SNES controls and nothing else,
yeah,
basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. No extra sticks.
And I have found some guides on how to do that. They're just a little involved, so
it's definitely a big project. Yeah.
Go through with it, but it's a neat idea. I do remember when you moved out of this house and we had to determine which of our games were shared between us.
It's like a divorce,
and which ones were ones that you owned versus what I owned.
And you were very disappointed with how much was mine.
Yeah. Well, so
I bought a lot of stuff. Turns out,
because we've lived together your whole life, and you're 24.
Yeah.
So we had games that we had in our house that you and I had both played that we had shared, quote unquote, for like 15 years by the time you moved out.
Totally.
And so I couldn't even remember half the time. Like, did we share this one? Was this yours? Was this mine? I couldn't remember half the time.
It was especially with like the N64 and GameCube games.
Yeah, especially
were definitely the
older
hardest
ones. We eventually figured it out.
Quite a collection now, though, because then since moving out, I bought a lot of ones to replace the ones that were yours.
Yeah, we've each replaced most of the ones that we had shared between us. And
because your N64 games, I was like, most of them were yours, and I was like, God, I need more N64 games.
Yeah.
So I have a bigger collection now than we ever had.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, like Mario Party 2 was yours.
Classic.
I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that's like one of the ones.
It's true. But Paper Mario was yours, so I had to buy my own Paper Mario.
Yep. And Kirby 64, the
Kirby
Crystal
64,
Shards.
Yep. I think one of the few I don't have is the original Mario Party, because I still don't have the first Mario Party, which you recently bought, but you can't talk about that because you're not at the mic. So awkward.
Sorry, I have to answer an email. Just keep the podcast entertained.
Oh God. It's all me. Yeah. Once there was a man named Fred, and he was went up to his wife and he said, "Hi, I'm Fred," and she's like, "Why would you say that to me? I already know you're Fred. I'm your wife." And he said, "Who are you? Get out of my house." And she was like, "No, God!" And then he shot her. The end.
Great story.
Do you like my improv story?
Riveting.
My improv story. And he's away from the mic. Oh God.
No, it's okay. I'm here.
I was scared.
Just calm down. I'm here.
I'm so scared.
I may have to jump on a call in a few minutes. We'll
Oh
see.
God.
I may have to pause the podcast.
We're just gonna have to stop the podcast then.
Yeah.
Technical
It's okay.
difficulties.
It's okay. It's all gonna be okay.
Why are you working? We're working right now. Brian, don't you realize we make $0 on this podcast?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I have to work.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This podcast does not yet pay for itself.
No. I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah.
Tell your friends about the Brothers Game podcast, please. Oh God, please.
We'd love for it to at least cover its domain name
Please
cost.
download and share. Follow us on Twitter. I'll start posting more.
Yeah. Oh, and we'll get episodes
Hey,
6 and 7 on
listen,
the YouTube soon.
Listen, I'm moving.
Yes. We need to get that SSD in your laptop
We
too.
do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I did get everything on the external though, finally. It took me so long to get a good external.
Yeah.
But now I finally just have everything on there.
Yeah. It might be easier for you to just bring it here.
Oh yeah, definitely. I did just upgrade my Switch, actually. My Switch's SD card.
Oh, nice.
I only had a 64 gig micro SD in there.
I've actually
and that filled up pretty quick.
I've thought about replacing the hard drive in my Xbox One for an SSD. I've seen the process on how to do it, and I think I can do it. It's a little involved. It's actually a little easier to do on the PS4.
Oh, interesting.
But there's not necessarily a ton of benefit to it, and some games differ on how much it benefits them because they've been used to such slow storage for so long that they've like engineered the games around that, and they like try to load as
Loading
much into
screens and
system
stuff.
memory as possible.
Yeah.
So frankly, there's not always a huge benefit to an SSD in a game console.
Although the next gen PS5 and Xboxes are going to be
they're going to be
SSD,
based on SSDs,
so.
which that leads us nicely into talking about the PS5.
the PS5.
Because
the
really, who
router?
cares about the new Xbox?
No one. Not me.
The cube,
It's
the
like mini
rectangular
fridge.
cube.
It's a mini fridge.
Yeah, it's basically the Apple trash can, but rectangular.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know if people are going to like this one. I just have a feeling. I have a bad feeling
For me,
about
it's
it.
only it's just going to come down to the game library and
Yeah.
if there's any exclusives that are so good that I need to buy
I've
the
never
console
owned
for.
an Xbox One of any kind.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it. So
I didn't buy. I wasn't necessarily going to buy myself one but then a friend bought it for me.
That's true.
Our
You
friend
got it for
Kyle got
Christmas.
it for me for Christmas, which
Yeah.
was just shocking. Still,
was super shocking.
That's the most expensive gift a friend has gotten me ever.
Yeah.
Still, which
Super cool.
Yeah, just blown away.
insanely cool.
And it came with the Halo Master Chief Collection and Halo 5, and
Beautiful.
and for a while those were
Pretty
the
much
only games I had
you
on
wanted,
it.
yeah.
Just that and PSO2 now.
Yeah. Because, you're just not really a next gen game guy. Like, there's a lot of newer games, but, he's gone. Oh, God. Frank.
I literally just had to
okay.
type the word sure. Chill.
I was going to go back into Frank's story. Okay, he's gone. He's gone again. Okay. We're good. We're good. Stressed out, man.
Hi.
I'm losing it, man.
Everything's okay. Don't need to freak out on me. So what were you saying?
Oh, you just don't really play next gen games in general.
Play what games?
Next gen games.
Next games, yeah.
Like
yeah.
AAA games and stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, other than
we're sort of stuck in the past a little bit.
that's the thing. I don't think I've played a new game that wasn't just a new install into an existing
series you already
franchise
cared
that I had
about.
already been playing.
Yeah.
Like I've played in the last like 2 years, I've played like Kingdom Hearts 3, which So
Right,
that was part of
right.
an existing franchise, FF7 remake, which was not only part of a franchise, but
literally
literally
just
a
a
remake
remake.
of a game
Yeah.
I had played before.
I mean, Breath of the Wild, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Breath of the Wild,
Newer
Halo,
Nintendo stuff.
Master Chief Collection, and 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm struggling to remember the last time I played a game that wasn't part of some franchise I played as a kid.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
It could
Interesting. You just haven't
be,
really branched out.
yeah, it could be Dark Souls because I didn't play
True.
Dark Souls for the first time
But you've only played the
like,
first Dark Souls
yeah.
also.
until like 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
I mean, I know it's sort of old now, but you have a PS4,
Yeah.
right? I would recommend Bloodborne.
Yeah,
It's better than Dark Souls in my opinion. It's the best of that kind of game. It's just so cool. Like cooler aesthetic, just sick too. Just cool weapons and stuff. Anyway, and it's super cheap now. But yeah, like I'm thinking of all like these AAA games people talk about. Like I'm thinking of all the newer Assassin's Creeds, the Horizon Zero Dawn, just stuff like people are talking about still.
Yeah.
And yeah, you like Last of Us. Like you've never touched any
Yeah.
of those. It's interesting. But
And,
that's just kind of how we play, I guess.
yeah,
Like
and
I'm
like
slightly more into that stuff, but even I'm
and like
not,
for some reason people are still playing Skyrim, which I first played it I think in
True.
2011.
like when it came out, yeah.
So like 9 years ago, like this, as
Long
far as
time.
I'm concerned, this is an old dead game.
Yeah.
This is like people that are still
And yet-
talking about Halo 3.
Yeah, and yeah, like us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, people are still playing it constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the newest games I played that wasn't. I'm basically not counting Nintendo because obviously I'm playing all the new Nintendo games. But I think the newest one was like Spider-Man,
Yeah.
the Insomniac PS4 Spider-Man, which is an insanely good game.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It is ridiculously good. I think you'd even like it. But
Yeah.
did you play the Arkham games at all? Batman
No,
Arkham?
I watched people play them,
Okay.
but I've
Made by
never
the same company
played them, yeah.
and similar, but I think even better
No.
than those. So, but anyway.
I'm gonna have to stop the recording.
Oh man, we'll see you in a couple seconds, audience.
So I just realized I have played Animal Crossing, so I guess that's the one new game that I've
is a
played
new game,
recently
isn't
that I hadn't played.
That's funny.
Historically.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, and that was a real solid 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
2 days you played that. I mean, really.
Yeah,
So good.
I've put an entire like 2 hours into the game.
It's been out for a long time now. I realized.
Yeah.
Like, I have multiple months of active days now.
Yeah.
Like 80 solid days of like active playtime. Because there's actually a counter. Because you get achievements for doing things.
Right.
Basically, you get Nook miles and stuff. And
Yeah, I've actually unlocked a couple of those.
yeah. So I get, so there's one for number of active days, which just means a day you've actually played the game. And yeah, it's over 80 for me.
Oh yeah. Mine's
That's crazy.
Mine's gonna be like 3 or 4.
Yeah. But, I am still playing that, but I am not playing it every day now. It's hard to find things to do now. I'm still, like, I'm not happy with my island yet. Like, it's not, like, done or anything. But it's hard to really sit down and, like, fix it up. Because, I don't know, with, like, plants and stuff is all it is mostly. But, like, for, like, fossils and stuff, I've gotten every fossil. So I've filled the museum that way. And, every month, new bugs and fish come out. And that's kind of cool to do. Like right now it's summer, basically.
Yeah.
Like officially. So there's tons of bugs and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Just
That's
like
kinda
bugs everywhere. Like a bunch of different beetles and stuff.
Bugs everywhere, just like your real life.
Yeah. And there's like, I've already caught the like 5 different varieties of cicadas that are in the
nice.
game. But they did just release a new update. That's sort of huge. They released swimming.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So swimming and diving in the immediate ocean around your island.
Yeah.
So you can swim around and dive for special sea creatures. So there's a whole new type of like things, animals to pick up. So like there's algae and jellyfish and octopus and and sea snails and stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Speaking of updates, I still need to try out the Pokemon DLC.
I was going to mention that. We both own it, right? You bought it.
Yeah.
So we both own it, and we have not touched it.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm sort of surprised about.
Yeah, we both played through the game, but we just haven't.
I have to like just do it, and like sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to really play this. Because once you start something like that, you got to play it for a long time, sort of. So, like, I'm just not ready to get back into it yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just like...
Yeah, I think anymore it's like, it's hard to get into a game without like making sure you have time to really dive into it.
Yeah.
It's hard to play games.
Although I've heard good things about it, so I mean, like I'll definitely get to it eventually.
Yeah.
And we did like Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We did a whole episode.
Maybe,
on it.
Yeah, right. Maybe when the other DLC comes out too.
Oh, maybe.
And there's like basically a full new game to play. I might just do it.
Yeah.
Just do both. But I don't know.
You have any idea when that's coming out?
I think it's this year still.
Oh, okay.
Like October or something.
I might wait too then.
Yeah, I think it might be October. That sounds right. But maybe November. But I think this year for sure. Yeah, interesting. What else is coming out? I'm excited about something. Paper Mario, but I'm not excited about that.
Yeah.
So that comes out.
And the new Tony Hawk remake.
Yeah, and Tony Hawk remakes. Those would be cool.
Yeah.
And I actually have the system for that. The freaking Origami King, man.
Yeah.
So that comes out in a week.
Yeah.
And tons of new gameplay has come out for it. A lot of new trailers and stuff. And every new trailer is more disappointing than the last. Because, I mean, now it's confirmed that, there's no experience points. There's, all the battles are weird.
Yeah,
they're sort of
Paper
they are
Mario
turn-based.
Sticker Splash too.
Yeah, pretty much. The open world's kind of interesting. I just don't want to I'm not going to spend $60 on this game.
No.
Like, I want to play it, but I'm not for $60 at launch. No way.
I'd love for just a new Mario RPG.
Yeah, just any RPG.
It's just a classic JRPG with Mario in the Mario universe with Mario characters.
Like, of course, I want it to go back to, Paper Mario Classic, but just a Mario RPG would be great.
And they can even ignore the paper aesthetic. They can the Paper Mario franchise has obviously just gone in a totally different direction. Yeah. And so instead of hoping that it'll one day return,
just make a new Mario RPG.
I don't think it ever will. Just make a new, because Mario and Luigi hasn't been a thing for a while, huh?
No, well, the studio closed down
that
made those games, and so with that, there's just no Mario RPGs at all. Like, they could just do Super Mario RPG with a new tagline.
Yeah.
Like, the SNES one was Legend of the Seven Stars or whatever.
Yeah.
Just make a new one. Just start a new thing or something. Because I think that'd be awesome. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. So we went off on a tangent about Xboxes when we were talking about the new consoles. So let's circle back there. The PS5 looks really interesting. So they've talked a lot about their the SSD technology they're using and the way that they're going to get the latency down below what a computer can do because they have this purpose-built hardware for it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like game studios are going to be able to take advantage of having much faster storage.
Yeah, much better load times and stuff.
And there's even the idea of instead of loading things into memory first and then buffer caching stuff, but just reading it straight off the disk because it's so fast.
I mean, that would be awesome. Obviously, that's ideal. Yeah. So
then they won't be limited by the memory anymore, and they can just write. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. And then with the PS5, there was the announcement for the Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
And so I haven't really been following the development of Unreal Engine all that much. I've noticed a lot of games are using it. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 and FF7 Remake were both using it.
And look amazing.
And yeah. So I was watching WAN Show on Linus Tech Tips, and they were they were showing a video of it. So I'm watching a video in a video, super low res. I don't think I even had the quality up or anything. But when I was watching this little tiny preview screen, I was like, okay, there's something there that looks interesting. So I went and actually looked for the source video, and the way they're doing lighting and stuff is there's something special there.
Like, bro,
Like every year graphics get better.
Yeah,
I've been
somehow,
because we remember the first days of 3D
yeah,
video games. Like the earliest 3D video games where everything was triangles.
Garbage.
And you could barely, like the 3D graphics were arguably worse than the latest gen 2D graphics because of,
yeah. It's like, that's Mario. That's crazy.
It took a while for 3D to really start to look realistic at all. And then every year they're like, okay, it looks more realistic this year, more realistic, better textures, better lighting.
The thing is, they're getting to a point where they look better than real life. Like,
yeah, but then at the same time, there's a couple of things that are just always a little off. And
they're fake looking, but still more like atmospheric and artsy than real life a little bit. So I don't know.
And so like I've gotten used to it at this point. Like, oh yeah, every year graphics are going to get a little better. It's going to look a little more realistic. The lighting is going to look a little better. The textures are going to look a little better. Whatever. This was the first time where I was like, dang. Oh, okay, I see a genuine improvement.
Yeah.
This isn't just the little incremental upgrade we get every year. This was a genuine jump.
Yeah.
In realism. And not just in lighting, but also in sound. Like the way they were able to make it sound like something was far away versus close.
Good Foley work, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had this like little demo game to show it off, and like I want to play that demo game. Like I want them to make a full game of that. It looked really cool.
Nice.
So I am genuinely excited for Unreal Engine 5 and games that will be made from it.
Yeah.
And games that will run. So the thing is while from a technical standpoint, I think the PS5 looks really awesome, and I'm
definitely
excited about it. But also, until titles come out that I really want for it, I'm not going to buy it.
Right, totally.
And I recently got my PS4.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's going to be some good games on there. Though. Yeah. Like, so there's only a few games have been announced for PS5, but one is the sequel to Spider-Man, actually. Yeah. And it's about Miles Morales.
Yeah.
It's all like him leading it. I mean, I'm already hyped for that. That's like almost reason enough already for me to get a PS5. So. Yeah. Because I loved that game so much. Yeah. But I still don't know the price point on the PS5.
Yeah, I thought it was. I'm hearing 400 to 600.
Yeah, I mean that's assumed. I think it could easily be 500.
Someone was saying you can tell that they are like trying to move away from using discs because
the main model is the trayless model.
Like because the one with the CD drive is like just that one, but with a CD drive like
shoved
ugly.
Into it. It is ugly. It looks terrible.
Shoved onto there. But the thing about that is I like owning something physical.
Me too.
So I have a few games that I've downloaded onto my consoles.
Yeah, I'm sort of half and half still.
Yeah. I'm still 90% of the games I own are on physical media.
Like when say when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out for Switch, like I could not see myself just downloading it on my Switch.
Yeah.
Like I need to get the physical one, Like I don't know. There's something about it still. I guess we're just nostalgic retro gamers, but
and I also like the idea of being able to like use it between consoles, but also since the purchases are tied to your account, as long as you're
right, you can re-download. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm not like too strongly opinionated about that.
I get it for sure, but like games are so big now; they're just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So the thing with discs is you never have to get a bigger hard drive for them. You just have a disc. I mean, you do have to download.
It does have
data.
to be partially downloaded.
It's true.
So,
but I mean, you can hold a lot more.
Yeah,
you can definitely have more games.
That's actually the biggest reason I would get an upgrade for my Xbox is less so speed. That would just be a side bonus. The main one would be capacity because the Halo Master Chief Collection is
it's
huge.
Massive. Yeah,
it had a 60 gigabyte update.
Yeah.
Like I already had the full game, and then it had a 60 gigabyte update on top of it.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty insane.
Like, I thought 500 gigs was a lot for a game console until I had a few games
Not anymore.
downloaded on it.
It's like, this game is 160 gigs. You're like,
And
excuse me?
I know PC gamers are laughing at me, but like I don't play a lot of PC games.
We're not PC gamers, so forget that.
So I'm used to games that fit on discs.
Yeah. Yep, I'm not about that. PCs cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
I want my $400 console.
Also, my 10-year-old PC who just runs just great. It's just if I try to play a modern game on it,
it'll explode.
The CPU just is pegged the entire time.
Yeah, it's fine.
100% utilization
totally
the
normal.
entire time.
Totally fine. I don't know if I'll ever be a PC gamer. I don't know if I'll ever build like a cool PC for gaming.
I mean, I'm going to build a PC that will be great for gaming. It's just that I don't think I'll actually be playing games on it very often.
I just don't see the point for me. Not for me. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm terrible with a keyboard and mouse at shooters.
Shooters,
like,
especially.
Everybody talks about how superior it is, and I'm like, okay, maybe, but
only
like,
if you only play on it.
If you're bad at it, and it's not superior.
Yeah. You have to only play that basically for a long time. Professionals, they prefer keyboard and mouse, but of course, they're weird anyway.
Yeah.
They play games in a different way.
Yeah. Pro gamers.
Pro gamers.
I'm about to do what's called a pro gamer move.
Yeah, I'm about to do what's called a pro gamer move. Well, Brian, I'm going to move on to a segment.
Okay.
That I called Things I Found on Twitter that instead of tweeting, I'm going to talk about them on the podcast.
Okay.
That's what the segment's called.
Yeah.
And I'll forget that title every episode.
So you're going to come up with a new title for the segment every episode. Yeah. Awesome.
So this segment is titled Things Nicolai Wants to Do That Brian Doesn't Know About. See, I already changed it.
Yeah.
So what I have here is a list of games. So very popular on Twitter right now. People are retweeting it like crazy with pictures and things of games or like your favorite game that came out the year you turned 18.
Oh, okay.
Is the thing. People are just posting like a picture from whatever game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very curious about this. I'm like, what games came out when I was 18? Don't need to pull out your phone. I already wrote down yours. Don't worry. I got you. So I was interested in mine, and I was like, okay, when did I turn 18? 2014 is when I turned 18. Turns out I'm a little baby.
Yes.
So, and I first Googled games that came out in 2014 is all I Googled.
Yeah.
And I was very disappointed immediately.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like any of these games. But then I went on to like the Wikipedia page for like every video game known to man or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And went through the entire year and just saw what came out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I found some good games. So I'm going to list 5 here that are notable, at least. Some of my favorites from that year.
Mm-hmm.
So first we have Smash Wii U and 3DS.
Oh, yeah.
Came out. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Not really a Smash player, but those were, until Ultimate, it became my favorite Smash game.
Oh, interesting.
Because I'm not a Melee Brawl person, but I really enjoyed Wii U.
Yeah.
That was the one where I actually played that more than most other Smash games. Mario Kart 8 also came out.
Oh, yeah.
Mario
Kart 8 was good.
Really good. I mean, until Deluxe for Switch, which is kind of the same game. Yeah. It's the best Mario Kart by far, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. The other one, Pokemon Alpha Ruby and Alpha Ruby Omega.
Omega Ruby.
Omega
Alpha
Ruby
Sapphire.
Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah. Which that was good. Yeah.
Very good as well.
I've got Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, me too.
I liked that.
But very good. I didn't play those when they first came out on the Game Boy Advance. So I'd played through maybe half of it, but until Alpha Sapphire, I hadn't actually finished the Gen 3 games. Yeah. But after that, I was like, oh, these are actually pretty awesome. So that was really fun. What else do we have here? The original Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
came out
really?
in 2014.
That was 2014, huh?
Isn't that interesting? I was like, I almost felt like it was older than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, 6 years ago, Five Nights at Freddy's came out. Same year Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came out. I remember like those games just cranked out like 2 a year. It was super quick. But anyway, that's interesting. That's a pretty I liked the series. I think it's kind of cool and pretty important. I don't know. People were pretty excited about it when it came out. Okay, 2 more. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker
Oh yeah.
for the Wii U.
Yeah, I remember you had that.
I love that game. I just got it on my Switch.
Oh, nice.
They ported it to Switch and 3DS, and because I just love that game. It's just so fun. Yeah. It's a unique. It's like nice to have a new Mario IP.
Yeah,
and it's quite different. I really enjoy it. Anyway, last one, probably my favorite game of the year, Fable Anniversary. Came out in 2014.
Oh, it took that long?
It did.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Yeah. So Fable Anniversary came out on the 360. And I mean, I love the original Fable, and having it with new controls and graphics was just like amazing.
I don't think I've played Anniversary yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's so good.
I just realized I don't think I've played
it's
it
so
yet.
good. Well, it's actually because it's Lost Chapters, so
Right.
it has all the extra.
Because I've played Lost Chapters
stuff, and yeah, it looks 10 times. I mean, the original game looks like garbage.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have that. I still have it. You can borrow it if you want, if you need to. Anyway, that's probably my favorite game of the year.
Yeah.
That year, because I love the original Fable. Still one of my favorite games. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should talk about Fable sometime.
Yeah.
A lot of podcasts.
Well, we did a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, love that game. Now, Brian, would you like me to get into your year?
Yeah, so you remember that it was 2007, right? Okay.
Because I sat at home and did the math.
Yep.
I was like, you're 7 years older than me. So I took 2014 and said -7. So in 2007, Brian, some of these games I think are games that like describe you. Like,
yeah.
It was so your year of games. It was crazy.
That was a great year for games.
So I'm gonna go least notable and then go up.
Okay.
Most exciting for me, Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh yeah,
came out
which I've actually never played.
So good.
Yeah.
I still love Galaxy. But you're not a huge 3D Mario player anyway.
Well, I'm not a big platformer, as you know, so another Mario platformer. I was like,
Mario Galaxy is so good. Which I'm still holding out for that remake that was rumored.
Oh yeah.
Who knows? Nintendo has not made a lot of announcements lately. Actually, I'll get into that because they made announcements today and they were horrible. Anyway, Super Paper Mario came out.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Absolute garbage. But thought I should mention it.
Yeah.
So there's that.
When I watched you play that game, I knew that's when I knew Paper Mario was truly
Paper
dead.
Mario's dead. It
was before Color Splash and all that. Like I knew that's when it died.
And then Sticker Star was just more proof that it had died. Yeah.
I wouldn't have held Sticker Star again because it was a mobile game. I'm like, mobile games don't count.
Sure.
I would have been like, no, that's just a stupid one-off.
And then Color Splash just continued.
But then Super
the
Paper
transition.
Mario came out, and I was like, oh, and then
you're just like, it's over.
Yeah.
So those are the bad games. I guess the bad game. Persona 3 came out.
Oh, really?
In North
2007.
America.
Oh, okay, North America.
America. 2006 in Japan.
Yeah.
But 2007, I was like, I thought it was older than that.
Yeah.
I was surprised, actually.
That is interesting.
And FES didn't come out till the next year in 2008. So, yeah, I was very surprised by that. But anyway, notable. Love that game. Guitar Hero 2 came out.
Oh, only 2?
2 came out.
Oh, wow.
Early 2007.
Oh, yeah.
Late 2007.
I remember because
Guitar Hero 3 came out.
Yeah. Well, because I remembered that 3 came out in 7, so I was like, wait, they came out the same year? That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? I think at least the Xbox 360 version. I think maybe the PS2 came out before
one
that.
did come out
I'm not
a little
100%
earlier.
sure on that.
Yeah.
But I know at least the 360 one came out in 2007. But as we've talked about on the podcast before, Guitar Hero 3 is like our jam for sure. So I was like, that's cool that came up.
Yeah.
Last two. These are the big ones. Portal.
Yeah.
Portal came out.
Oh yeah.
PC and on the orange box.
Yep.
Same time.
Which that's
as
how I
Half-Life
played
2.
it was on the orange box.
Yes, that's true. We both played it for the first time on 360. But it came out on PC also, 2007. I mean, that's, such a notable, groundbreaking game.
Yeah.
So classic. And then Game of the Year, Brian, Halo 3.
Yep.
Came out 2007. I was like shocked that this was like for you. And Guitar Hero 3 and Halo 3 both came out when you were 18.
Never
Like what
did
a
I have
time.
an easier time justifying a console purchase
Oh yeah, 360.
2007.
Come on, yeah.
because 2 of my most played games ever
Oh yeah,
really were on that
absolutely.
console.
So I'm like, man, good year for games.
Looks like Guitar Hero 2 for PS2 came out the year before, 2006.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yep, that makes sense. But the 360 one is what we played anyway. But I guess we had both.
yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it,
Yep. Because we had the SG guitar.
the 360 was
on
so much
the
nicer though because it was
PS2.
wireless.
But yeah.
The SG on the PS2 was wired.
Yep.
Gosh, ridiculous. And that controller sucked compared to
Yeah.
the Les Pauls for Guitar Hero 3. Anyway, I just thought that was so cool
Yeah.
that such Brian games came out when you were 18.
Yeah. And that's so 2006 was when I first played World of Warcraft, and then
Oh, really?
I played it for about 10 months or so that bleeded into 2007, and then I stopped playing, and then that's when I got the 360 and
Went back to consoles.
Halo
pretty
3
much.
and Guitar Hero 3, which I played a lot, and then I played WoW again.
For a pretty short time, right?
Yeah, only, for another few months.
Yeah.
And then like early 2008, I stopped.
You're just
for
like,
good.
I'm done. Yeah.
And then more Halo 3.
And your life
more-
just got so
more
much
Guitar
better.
Hero 3. Yeah. Well, I mean, it arguably
sorta.
did. It's funny, that was the same year as the financial crisis, and
Oh yeah. Wow, that's true.
I lost my job. Even like my pizza shop job got
Yep.
affected, and
Yep.
was out of work for a few months. So I spent those months playing
more video games.
plenty of Halo 3. Got really good at Guitar Hero.
Yep.
That's when I got really good. Was when I was out of work for like 6 months.
That's why we could play games so much. You weren't working.
Yep.
Didn't even really think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was homeschooled. Mm-hmm. I don't know if listeners know that. Homeschooled for middle and high school. So we had tons of time to just play Halo and Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good times.
Yep.
So I was like, I must have been 13 then? No, wait,
Yeah.
7 years. I was only 11.
2008. So yeah, you were.
2008, I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
wow, that's crazy. Yeah, because I remember 12 to 14, we were really in the apartment, last years of the apartment.
Yeah.
And just playing games like crazy.
Yep.
Yep. Good times. So moving on to a new subject, when I move, which is happening,
Right.
pretty sure. Don't know
So
when.
far.
So far, it's going good. So we have a 3-bedroom, and we'll be using one, obviously. So we'll have 2 extra rooms, and for now, we've decided one room is going to be a guest room for people come over, whatever, mother-in-law, and whatever. And then one room's going to be just like video games,
game
board
shrine.
games, books. Because me and my wife have 4 bookcases full of books. We're just like insane book people.
The
So,
library/game shrine.
it's gonna be a sweet room, I gotta say. Although we have to repaint it because right
Yeah.
now it's like the most ugly green you could imagine. Because it was a little kids.
Nah, you gotta
kids
leave
room or
it for the.
something. Oh yeah. I'm thinking maybe like a grayish blue would
Yeah.
be nice, something like that. But anyway, and we might record in there. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. Might have better acoustics
Might
than
have
this
better
room.
acoustics.
So.
This is a little big of a room.
Yeah, it's a little echoey.
And it'll be a fairly full room, so that might help
Mm-hmm.
too. And if we can get have a nice backdrop, that maybe is when we could start recording video.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
behind the scenes talk during the podcast.
During the podcast.
Maybe make a video.
Yeah.
Why don't we?
Well, since it's just maybe right now, sure.
Yeah, sure.
I can say yes to hypotheticals all I
It'd
want.
be fun. I just like podcasts when I can see them talking,
Yeah.
even though it means nothing. So pointless. Something about it. But anyway, yeah. I'm out of things to talk about.
Oh, I thought you had another thing.
That was it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. I have the Nintendo thing.
Yeah, the Nintendo
Yeah.
news.
Cut this out. Barry, cut this out. Barry doesn't even work for Game Grumps anymore.
Oh, really?
No. They have like 4 editors now.
Barry, can we get a
they're all
hamburger
big.
going across
Yeah.
the screen?
Barry, give us a wolf job.
Well, now it's a hamburger.
Yep. And clap sync. So as of today, It is July 10th when we're recording this, dating this podcast.
Yep.
Nintendo just had a Nintendo Treehouse event live stream
Okay.
where they were showing off some stuff. Mostly, it was a lot of gameplay of Origami King, actually.
Oh,
Paper
yeah.
Mario, which was meh, as usual.
Yeah.
The open world's kind of cool. I will say that about Origami King.
Yeah.
Atmosphere is really nice. Whatever. And then I knew it was bad because all of Twitter was just like, "Yo, F Bakugan," and I'm like, "What is happening?"
Oh, no.
Apparently, most of the was talking about a new Bakugan game
Wow.
that's coming out for the Switch.
Wow.
And I'm like, to read the room, Nintendo.
Right.
Like,
Seriously.
dude, people have been dying for like a direct something.
Yeah.
And this is what they show. You show us Bakugan.
Do kids even care anymore?
No, it's
Isn't
so
that like old?
It's
Yeah.
so old. Like, at least make a Beyblade Burst game or something.
Yeah.
Kids are into that right now. Like, oh my gosh. And so, like, apparently the chat was just ripping them apart. Like, most of the chat was like just chanting Metroid Prime 4 or Pikmin 4
Yeah.
or something. Just like, give us any video, just a video game, please. And I mean, so there's rumors of like that there's going to be a direct really soon with like actual announcements, because obviously holidays are coming up. There's no way Nintendo isn't going to have some exciting holiday game. They always do.
Yeah.
So there's going to be at least one, fall winter game that's going to be cool. But I sort of agree with people that they've been really silent.
Yeah.
With good releases. So I don't know, really weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Origami King is the only game coming out.
I have to just assume that coronavirus is still actually affecting them.
And I would assume that. And maybe, if E3 hadn't been canceled, we would see some more releases. But other companies are just showing their E3 stuff and like have been showing a lot more games. Like they've even announced PS5 games. Like, what the heck, They just announced a new Crash Bandicoot game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that's going back to the roots, sort of, which is kind of cool. I'm kind of excited about that, actually, because, the collection was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm holding out hope for Nintendo
Yeah.
because I love them. But we'll see. We'll see there. Speaking of, we got to talk about Clubhouse.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we got the Clubhouse. We'd been talking about this a little bit, and we'd both been excited about it. Clubhouse 51 games, and it's
classic worldwide classics or
board
whatever
games
it's called.
and card games. And finally, I have a good mahjong video game, which I have been waiting for. So we got introduced to mahjong while I was in college.
Yes.
But
I was like 13, 14 when we were really getting
my
into
friends
it.
Ben and Kyle introduced me to it, and Kyle owned a mahjong set, and so he'd bring it to school. To the PCC cafeteria, and I'd bring you, even though you weren't a college
even though I was
student,
like
but
a young teenager.
nobody cared.
Nobody cared at all. Yep.
And we learned mahjong, and we would
played
just
it all
play
the
it
time.
like
Those
once
were
or
really
twice a week.
really cool times. It was very interesting.
Yeah, actually, half the time we would do that, and then they would come over to our house, and we'd play Halo.
Yep, we would on Rat's Nest, driving
where-
around
oh,
shoppers.
Just driving around, just being idiots, just crashing
being
into each other, and
dorks.
just
Just having
it was
such
great.
a good time. So classic.
Fun times.
But yeah, so we got introduced to Hong Kong rules mostly though, like Chinese rules, and which are quite different than the Japanese. But
we did like some sort of variation of Hong Kong rules for a while, and then we switched to Zhongjung, which has a more consistent rule set, and it's a little easier to follow, but the scoring's a little complex. And then we switched over to Japanese
We
Riichi
finally
Mahjong,
went
where
over
the
to Riichi.
scoring is a little more consistent.
Yeah.
Even though the rules were actually a little more complex than Zhongjung.
kind of odd. But yeah, like one thing about Clubhouse 51 is just it's like I feel like there's a lot of crappy third party board game collection games.
Yeah.
But like this is finally one with like the Nintendo polish on it.
Yeah.
Which is sweet.
This is the first
It is so
good
good.
board game collection I've seen since Hoyle did them for the PC back in the mid
I love that.
90s.
We did love that though.
Yeah.
That's funny. Memories. So nostalgic. But like, and they have a lot of games on there. It's really cool. Because not only Mahjong, but I know you haven't really played it, but I love Hanafuda Koi Koi. I'm playing that like crazy on there.
And they've got like backgammon, chess, checkers.
All the classic stuff. Connect 4 even is on
Yeah.
there. Like, yeah, quite a bit of stuff. You have the card games, and they have like tanks and stuff. Really fun game. But yeah, it's a great mahjong simulator for
Yeah.
sure, and it's helped us sort of understand Riichi mahjong even better too,
Yeah.
which is kind of nice. But
Yeah, because there were a couple of situations where I'm just like, okay, why can't I do this? And
Right, and then we found out,
I actually
oh,
learned some rules
actually we
about
can't,
Riichi
yeah.
Mahjong that I just didn't even know about before.
yeah, it's like it's a complicated game for sure.
Yeah.
Like, but it's worth the learning curve, I feel like.
So on the one hand, I think I'm getting better in some ways, but
Yeah.
on the other hand, I'm learning to ignore people's discards, and that's not necessarily a good
True.
thing in Mahjong. You
True.
kind of have to know what people are doing, but like unless it prompts me to
just kinda don't
act,
care.
I just completely ignore what people are discarding.
Well, the problem is that there's a difference between playing with real people and computers.
Yeah, that too.
Like with the computers, I don't think the discards matter as much.
Yeah.
You know, but so
Well,
with
they don't go for interesting hands anyway.
Exactly.
They just go for the bare minimum to win usually.
yeah, I love Clubhouse too because I was curious about this before it came out, and then they like announced that it was true, and I was just like so happy about it. They you only need to play locally with people. You only need one copy of the game.
Yeah, the guest pass. That's
you have a guest pass
awesome.
that people can just join in with that, and you can play with up to 4 people with only one copy of the game. I think that's super
Yeah.
cool.
For
Because,
me,
I
that
mean-
was one of the things I was most excited about when the Switch was announced. Actually, back when the Wii U was announced.
Yeah, just the multiplayer
Was
possibilities.
the yeah, and like having one gamepad and having one game on that gamepad, and then other people like,
Joining in, basically. Yeah, really, really good idea.
and it like finally came to fruition really with the
Yeah,
Switch.
definitely.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually our mom got into it. Like,
Yeah.
so she was like dancing around the idea of getting her own Switch,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But and with between Breath of the Wild, Animal Crossing, and now Clubhouse 51,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
she was like, "All right, I'm getting a Switch."
Because she's always been big into board games and card games our
Yes.
whole lives.
Yeah, super into it.
Yeah.
So, and interested in the newer video games and stuff. And I think
Mm-hmm.
she'll really like Animal Crossing too. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, she got a Switch Lite finally, the nice turquoise blue one. And yeah, so she can join it because she plays Mahjong too. So, yep, she's joining in with
And
us. It's pretty fun.
It's funny, the Switch Lite, I was like holding it. I'm like, oh, this is actually a really nice
very
form
nice.
factor. They've like really figured out the correct size to
Mm-hmm.
make everything.
Yeah, I really like the Switch Lite. I've tossed around the idea of getting my own, which is so stupid, but like, I just like it.
So Nicolai,
yes. Yes.
so
Brian.
the Switch
so
Lite and the
Switch-
Game Boy Advance are basically the exact same thing.
Oh yeah,
right?
totally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's
if you're-
like literally no difference.
If you're an
between them.
absolutely insane psychopath, yeah, Brian, they're exactly the same.
For fun, I am putting us on polar opposites of this debate, even though we are not making this a debate in the first place.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm
Could
on the
not be
stance.
farther from the truth.
I am on the stance that for the sake of this fun debate on
This
our podcast,
sweet bit.
I am on the side of the Switch Lite and the Game Boy Advance are essentially the exact same thing.
Yeah. If
And Nicolai believes they couldn't be more
if your
different.
only criteria is that they're physical matter, then yes, they are exactly the same thing.
Yes.
And that they are made by Nintendo.
Yes, but here's the thing. First,
Yes. Tell me your
now
ridiculous
I shall present my
argument.
arguments, which will destroy any hope you have of winning this debate.
Okay.
They are both handheld game consoles.
Yes.
Which already makes them more similar than most pairs of objects in the world.
Most pairs of objects. Great start. Please continue.
Now, by that argument, that would say that the PS Vita, for instance,
Also the same.
was also the
Yes.
same. So I have to narrow it down a little further.
Okay.
So they're both
Please do.
handheld game consoles. They both have they are both made by Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So
so
Vita's
that
out.
narrows it
Forget the
down.
Vita, man.
Yeah. So now that just includes every form of Game Boy, every form of DS, and the Switch Lite. So
Yes.
let's narrow it down further.
Okay.
Both the Game Boy Advance and the Switch Lite have a screen in the middle and controls on either side.
True.
Which
You're not wrong.
pretty much limits it down to Game Boy Advance and Switch Lite, and then the Wii U gamepad, I guess, if you considered it its own console, which it's not really.
It's not.
But, you know.
So, but it also, that's the bottom of a DS, too.
Yes.
So a DS is
it's
is
like a DS,
Switch Lite with
a
an
single
extra...
screen DS2. or a 2DS.
2DS, yeah.
Yeah. A 2DS with a single screen. Yeah.
Or, by that same logic, a Nintendo DS Lite is just a Switch Lite with an extra screen that's foldable on top.
Yes.
Okay. 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 They do use cartridges.
Yes.
I'll give you that
See?
one. I just
See?
helped your argument. Dang it.
Uh-huh.
They're not similar at all. So, sorry about that.
All right. What are your arguments, mister?
Screen big.
Oh, yeah. Screen big.
Very new.
Screen go brr.
Much bigger. It's the same because they're video game consoles, and that's about it. They're different because it's newer in every single way possible.
Right.
Screen resolution, size, brightness, rechargeable batteries, more buttons, more advanced games. It's just I get that it's the same, but it's also different in every way. I guess that's my stance. It's the same and it's completely different in every way.
Yeah.
So, I'll give you that it's not foldable. That's like saying though that a SP is just I guess it is just a DS with one screen.
Yeah.
So dumb. That's so dumb.
But I mean, so you can see the heritage.
Sure. Yes.
Like when you put a Game Boy Advance on the table and you put a Switch Lite next to it and you don't even turn, let's say you don't turn either of them on, you can see the heritage. You can see, this eventually in a way led to this other thing.
Until they come out with a translucent Switch Lite, I don't care. If they came out with a translucent purple Switch
Why
Lite,
haven't
I
they?
would give that to you. That would
They
be
should
amazing.
totally do that.
They're like, we're
I
over
mean, they've
we're
already
over
made
it.
translucent Joy-Cons for the regular Switch.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. That would be pretty sweet. I would actually be so into that.
Yeah. I feel like the Switch Lite
that.
is closer to the Game Boy Advance than it is to the GameCube.
Well, yeah, it's mobile. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. The mobileness is something else. It's just the Switch is not. Switch Lite is just like barely a mobile console. It's like too good to be just a mobile console.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the mobile.
It's what all the
Nintendo
mobile consoles you wished they
is
were.
as good as home Nintendo consoles now.
Yeah.
Is all it is. That's why the Switch is so huge.
Yeah, it's
and
funny
still
because Nintendo has tried a
selling
few
out.
like gimmicks in the past. This is
their
one of the
best
first
gimmick.
times where I was like, okay, you did something interesting, like new.
It is
that's
the best gimmick
actually
they've ever done.
You could actually call it revolutionary and not be like just.
And the sales reflect that.
Yeah.
That it was a success. I mean, it's outsold everything basically, and it's still just sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, partially it's because of but like supply, but also demand is just higher because everyone's at home.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Animal Crossing came out, which has outsold every other Animal Crossing combined.
Yeah,
You take every other game's sales combined.
Wow,
New Horizons is still above it.
that's awesome.
Insane. Yep. So I mean, good for Nintendo. They're doing it, and yet they have no games coming out. Who knew? So sad.
I want to actually take notes on this one thing. So, okay, totally unrelated to anything we've talked about in this episode.
I have notes.
So I watched a video and it was just going over the all the Final Fantasy bosses from Final Fantasy 1 all the way to 15. And it was just showing their health,
Oh, interesting.
their max health.
Okay.
And it started with mainline bosses, not excluding all side and optional bosses. And
So the big armor dude from FF1 and onward, or
yeah, I don't remember. But so it
his
starts
name.
with that that like Dark Knight guy that you fight who's in
the Dark Knight, Dark Magician.
no
Yeah, the Dark Magician. Sorry, Dark Magician Girl?
Wow. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! This is Final Fantasy.
Oh.
Because
Special summon.
I keep thinking of like Kefka, and no, that's
Nope,
FF6.
Definitely not Kefka.
And it's not like it starts with a G?
The Dark Knight. Yeah, it does start with a G. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Because I played him Greaves. Nope.
Yeah. No, it's not Greaves, but
Gauntlet. Nope.
it's not like Gerard, but that cute
Gerald.
name. Yeah, Gerald. That name cute. Anyway, I'm not gonna
Gurney.
bother trying to think
I forget
of it.
his name too. I played him in Dissidia. That's why I remember.
Yeah. So you've got those. So it shows the health of all of them, and he's actually the first boss you fight, and it's really early in the game, and he's actually not that strong.
Oh, weird. Maybe you fight him again at the end, or
I didn't see him come up again, but I don't know. And then FF2, like there was kind of a linear progression in just their health levels just increased overall, which I wasn't sure if that would happen necessarily. I thought maybe they might stay roughly the same. I forget which game where you started to like really see like big increases. I think when you got to like FF10, it was there were some pretty
Sin's pretty nuts.
big increases.
Sin's crazy.
And then I think 13 had like a ton of bosses that had a ton of health. But then you got to the optional bosses, and those dwarfed all of the mainline bosses.
You just have Emerald and Ruby weapon, like
yeah. Well, and they weren't even that. They had like you had Diamond Weapon who had like 100,000 or something.
Yeah.
Or Ultimate Weapon, or I forget.
Whatever.
And then you get into like Ruby and Emerald Weapon with 1 million.
Yeah.
And then they keep going up, and then you get to FF12, and you get the last optional boss in FF12, which I'm spacing on the name, but it had like 50 million health. Why? It jumped to the top and stayed there, and nothing else got anywhere close.
What does it look like?
It's a big dragon with rings around it that look like portals to another world or something.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. And it's huge, and yeah, it has 54 million health or something like that.
Jeez. I'm just reminded of a meme I saw that's like beginning of a Final Fantasy game. It's like, hey, can you go give that box to Mr. Gerald down the street?
Yeah.
It's like, final mission, kill God.
Yeah.
And
it's funny when you read the flavor text for some of these bosses in FF12, it's like this being was so dangerous that the gods had to like send it to Earth to keep themselves safe because it would have killed them all or whatever. Like, and then you kill it, and you're just some mortal human guy who's
so stupid. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So that's the most anime crap I've ever heard.
Yeah, right.
So funny.
Yeah. And I think like the second highest one was only like 10 million or something.
Yeah, just like way below it.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's crazy. You still have like 3 bosses left, right? That you never beat or something.
So there's
I honestly have not played FF12.
Yeah.
Very much would like to still.
There's these bosses, they're called, I'm just spacing on names at all right now. Just remembering names, just not a thing that's happening at the moment.
It's a good thing we don't have an audio podcast where we talk about video games.
Right.
That would be really awkward.
That would be pretty awkward.
Anyway.
But they're there are these things that you fight that are basically the same as like the summons you fight in FF8 or the Aeons you fight in FF10 or like,
Cool. I love those fights.
And the last one, the hardest one of them is Zodiark, Keeper of the Precepts.
Okay.
He's a dark type one.
Okay.
And so dark type magic has instant kill ability. And so if you don't block dark type magic, your characters just start dying automatically.
Uh-oh.
And it doesn't matter how much health they have. They just die. Yeah. And in fact, he starts the fight using one of those attacks.
Just killing everyone.
So the strategy is to go in with a like trash party member and just let them get killed by it, and then switch out to the rest.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I did New Game Plus and went in at level 99.
Yeah.
And I could not beat this boss.
Jeez.
Just
crazy.
And the problem was I just didn't have enough dark magic blocking.
Yeah.
Ability. That's
have to be
kind of what it came down to.
Outfitted very particularly for the boss. Yeah.
And then there's 2 like just big fat dragon things that have like 80 bajillion health that I have to beat too.
No, 50 million.
Yeah.
Quite particularly.
One of them 54 million or so.
Very particularly.
Yeah. And then
Jeez.
yeah.
That's crazy. I never beat the weapons in FF7. I'm always kind of sad about that.
Yeah.
Like I beat, Sephiroth and everything and got to level 99. But yep,
I got to
never did it.
level.
Maybe I should just do that someday.
I put in 100 hours into
Yeah.
into my first FF7 playthrough
Yeah, I
because
remember
I
that.
wanted to get Knights of the Round and I wanted to get the
That was fun.
gold chocobo and all that. And
Well, Chocobo was not as terrible as I thought it would be.
I did get the gold chocobo, I think, or I at least got the one right before
black
the
one?
black one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got tired of the grind and just decided to go beat.
That's the thing about
Sephiroth.
FF7 too. You kind of get tired of it. I feel
Yeah.
like I really enjoy it, but I don't know. Weird. There's a weird part where I'm just whatever, forget it.
I'm gonna eventually play not every single mainline Final Fantasy game, but pretty much all the ones from 4 onward.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play. 11,
like 4.
11
I
is
heard
an
4 is good.
is an MMO, and it's an old MMO that very few people play anymore. So I won't be playing 11. I have already played 14.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna start with 4 and go up through 15.
I've never played 4
I'm not
and
sure I'm
5,
gonna
but-
play 13 though. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I care.
don't bother.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 3 of them, and none of them are good.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately.
Yeah, but all the others I want to play.
Yeah. I think I should. I think I might play 8. Really give it a try.
Yeah, I watched
Really
a
give
whole
it the
video
benefit of the doubt,
going
you know?
over the junction system,
Yeah.
and
Really trying to
if
learn
you
it.
can get around it, if you can figure out how it works,
Yeah.
some people love it. Some
Yeah.
people think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really cool. So if you can really figure that one out, then it
For
seems
sure.
like the game's pretty
And
good.
the remaster is nice.
Yeah,
It looks 10 times better. Some of the because the
Yeah.
faces in the original look so horrible.
yeah,
But and the remaster's on every console right now. So
yeah.
but yeah. Cool. I should play FF7 remake.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely
I
should.
can't believe I haven't touched that yet.
I would lend it to you, except it's downloaded
Well,
onto
yeah,
my
that's
PS4.
fine.
But yeah.
That's fine. I'll do it.
Well, yeah.
Wow, we've been going over an hour. Good job. Good for us. Good for us. Look at us.
Wow.
I don't know. I feel good. We can end it there.
Yep. What? Why?
You like that?
No, I don't.
Sponsored by Red Bull. But it's not.
No, it's not.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Hey, if you own a company and want to sponsor this podcast,
We will sell out in a heartbeat.
DM us. Sponsored by us. Go us.
Yep.
Thanks, guys, for listening. Go follow us on Twitter, please. And download the podcast so we can see you're listening to it.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, bye.